Yes people, welcome back to Pearson Fitness. A little bit of a different video today, going to be a little bit shorter, going to be a little bit more about stretching, recovery. These are going to be my 5 stretches that I do personally every single day to bulletproof my body, reduce injuries, and there's 5 stretches that I've helped that has found me out. I had a few requests to do a video like this, so if you don't already follow me on Instagram, you'll already see that I do my daily mobility. I'll probably pop it up on the side here every single morning, 10, 15, 20 minutes if I have the time. It's something that I practice consistently, and I'm a massive believer in that the consistency will get you results long term. So if you stick at it, just put 10, 15 minutes aside each day, do these 5 stretches, and trust me, you'll start seeing results in terms of your joint pain, in terms of your overall health and your mobility, in terms of your exercises as well. So there's a big transfer over. Anyway, gonna jump into it. So, first stretch. So, stretch number 1 is gonna be the greatest stretch, but with an added little twist. I use it as a warm exercise for all of my clients. Today we're going to be doing it as more of a yoga kind of move with an added twist, like I said before. So what you're going to do to start off with is start with your left foot forward. Doesn't matter which side you start off with. Your left foot's going to be forward, your right foot's going to be back, almost as if you're doing a split lunge position. So this would be a typical greatest stretch position. And then from there, we would rotate round with our outside hand and then stand up. From this one, we're going to keep our back knee on the ground, let it rest down, still trying to push our back leg as far back as we can. Ideally the knee roughly in line with the ankle on this one, if you can see. And then from there, hands on the inside of our front foot. So if you've got your left foot forward, hands on the inside. And then from there, we're just going to do the usual greatest stretch. So the left hand is going to rotate all the way around to the ceiling. Make sure you're not rotating around here. You're going straight up. Your head's following your hand. Back down. And then we're going to repeat the same thing with the right hand. So keep this hip push forward. Don't let yourself drop back. Keep it forward. Rotate around with the right hand. Your head's following your hand. And then back round. Now this is where the added twist comes into it. So we're going to get a little bit more hip flexor work and a little bit more of a quad stretch on this one. So from here, all you're going to do is reach round with your left hand, grab your right foot and pull it in towards your body. Now you're going to get a big stretch in your quad. Your hamstrings might cramp up, just to be aware if you haven't done this one before. You're going to pull this heel into your body and then push your hip forward. From this position, you can go either lean forward to get a little bit more of a quad stretch, to get a little bit higher up in your hip flexors, sit a little bit taller. The aim is to obviously try and get that heel as close to your body as possible. If you can't get into that position, what I recommend is going into a couch stretch position and building up to that. So I'll put a video in the background of this. It's just a nice simple way so you're in a fixed position without obviously the added mobility needed to get in that position. You can just sit in it, build it up over time, increase that range, and yeah, progress it from there. So next stretch is a little bit of progression from the last exercise. So if you were struggling with the last exercise, probably stick at that one for a little bit of a while before we progress on to this one. So this one is going to be the lion hero pose. So if you follow myself on Instagram, I did a post about this a while ago. I'll try and link it down below, just talking about this exercise and how much it has benefited and improved my knee pain. So if you don't know me, I've had a lot of knee issues over the years. I've had multiple surgeries. I've seen this stretch originally from the knee over toe guy, so Ben Patrick. He was a big inspiration in terms of me wanting to really get good at this. To start with, I wasn't very good at it. It was tough to get into, but as I consistently did it every single day, I progressed. But anyway, jump straight into it. So all you're gonna do is start in this position, kneeling, on your knees, bum on your feet. If you struggle to get in this position, I advise practice this one and practice the previous steps before even trying this. I'll show you some regressions to this one to build up to it in a second, but I'll show you what we're gonna do. So, everyone's position to start with is gonna be different. I go for a slightly wider knee angle, my feet a little bit closer together. Everyone's gonna be a little bit different, but from this position, all you're gonna do is walk your hands back. You're gonna push your hips forward and just continue to walk backwards onto your elbows. And then from there, head on the floor. And the idea is to keep your knees flat on the ground, glutes in line with your feet, and the aim is to get your shoulders down. I can't quite get myself down, but I just like to use my head. There's a little bit of kind of stability at the bottom, and I just relax. And sometimes I even add in an overhead stretch, just to stretch the upper body off. So this is a big stretch for your quads. Again, hip flexors, can loosen off that knee joint a lot, and also you're getting a little bit of mobility in your thoracic spine at the back. Now, that's probably quite advanced for a lot of people. A few regressions that you can do. You can add a little bit of a block, either underneath your heels to start with, just to work on that initial mobility stage, or you can add it behind you on the floor work your way back. Even start by going on your elbows. Then if you can get to your elbows, work to that block, rest your head on the block, then you can remove that block. Or if you were really struggling with that before, you can add something like the stairs or a box if you've got that, and just work into that range to start with, get comfortable there, and then regress from there. I would probably say this is the main exercise that has massively benefited my knee pain. If you struggle with things like patella tendonitis, quad tendonitis, tight fit hip flexors, if you've pulled your rectus femoris, so your rec fem muscle, say you play sports like football where there's a lot of kicking involved, get this stretch done. It'll be probably painful to start with, but if you stay consistent with it, practice it over time, it will get a little bit easier. So on to stretch number 3 is gonna be a downward dog stretch. So if you've done yoga, or you might know this pose anyway, it's gonna be a big stretch for your hamstrings, it's gonna loosen off your back, and it's also gonna work a little bit of lower body mobility and really stretch off those ankles and calves as well. So again, I'll show you a regression for it afterwards if you're struggling with this one. But all it's gonna be, hands are gonna start in front, about shoulder width apart. Almost start with your knees in line with your hips, toes down into the floor. You're gonna be about shoulder width apart with your feet. From this position, you're gonna lift up. I like to do a few little calf stretches, so think about driving those heels into the floor, straightening those legs. I maybe do 5 to 10 each side. And then the aim from here is to bend the knees slightly. You're gonna straighten your arms, push your hips back, push your head through. Then from there, drive your heels into the floor and straighten your legs. Keep on thinking about keeping them legs straight, pushing into the floor, and shooting them hips as high as you can. So a lot of you might struggle to start with getting them heels to the floor, which is absolutely fine. If you can't quite get your heels to the floor, then you can just build up to that. Try and hold that position. It should be relatively uncomfortable, but not so uncomfortable to the point where you're in severe pain. Your hip flexors might cramp up if they're tired, your lower back might cramp up, your shoulders might cramp up from that position. Get comfortable with it, get practicing it. Just start with maybe 10-second holds, next time do 20, then 30, and then you can progress to maybe holding it a little bit longer. For myself, it's just about 30 seconds roughly. This is gonna be a stretch which is gonna massively benefit you if you do have any lower back discomfort. If your hamstrings are tight, that's gonna be pulling on your lower back. Also, if you're an athlete who maybe sprints, or just anybody who likes to do running, you're gonna have tight calves, you're gonna have tight hamstrings. Stretching this off will massively benefit you in terms of reducing the risk of you pulling your hamstring. And also, if you're someone who likes to deadlift, who likes to do RDLs, it's gonna help to increase that range of motion within the exercise, helping you hit different muscle fibers and get a further range of motion. So a little regression for this one is gonna be involving a resistance band. If you don't have a resistance band, a towel will do absolutely fine. All it's gonna be is sitting on the floor. You're gonna wrap the band around the ball of one of your feet. You're gonna straighten one leg on the floor, straighten the other leg up. And for a lot of people, you might struggle to even get to this point. The band is gonna be pulling your toe back, so you're gonna get that stretch of the calf in the back of the knee. And then from there, head on the floor, you're gonna lift upwards and slowly work to increase that range of motion. Keep that leg nice and straight, don't let it bend, and don't let this hip shoot off the floor. Your leg should be going straight upwards towards the ceiling, and try and pull that toe back and just sit into a position that's comfortable. And then when you can, push it a little bit further. So there's a little regression for you. Try that third stretch out and see how you get on. Right, so on to stretch number 4. This one again is going to be a big hip opener. So again, if you're suffering with lower back pain, this is the one that you might struggle with and something that you're going to need to build up. So this is going to be pigeon stretch. So to start off with, we'll demonstrate with the left leg going forward. So this is going to loosen off your left hip. From here, you're going to step your right foot back. The aim is to get this left foot roughly around 90 degrees. Now you might see a lot of people starting with their foot really tucked in. If you struggle to do the stretch, you might have to start in this position, but the aim is to try and get this foot roughly parallel with the knee. I'll put my right hand on my left foot. From this position, I'm shuffling my right knee back and then dropping my chest to the floor. You can also add a little bit more of a stretch in the right hip flexor here by sitting upwards, put your left hand on your knee and sitting nice and tall. So there's a few different variations for this one. This one's going to really work that external rotation of the hip, which a lot of people suffer with. So this is going to transfer nicely over to your squat. And also, like I said, if there's any tightness in your glutes and in your hips, this is going to get loosened off. Little regression for this one could just be simply laying down on the floor, cross your leg over and lift your knee towards your chest. Again, trying to push that knee away from you to create as much of an angle as possible in that hip. You can also progress this one by doing it on an elevated platform, maybe on your sofa, on a bench, whatever you have available, just to get a little bit more of a stretch in the hips, and you might also feel it loosen off the back a little bit more. So the final stretch that we're going to do is going to be a big one, which is going to work thoracic rotations. A lot of people are very stiff in their upper back, which can cause lower back issues, can cause shoulder issues. And this one, again, if you're sitting in the office all day, maybe you've got a 9-to-5 office job, work at a desk all day, you're going to be very stiff. So add this one into your routine. Start off with laying on the floor. You're going to tuck your knees into your chest as tight as you can. You're going to let your body roll to the side. Again, keeping them knees tucked in as tight as you can. From that position, I'll roll to my left. My left hand's gonna go on my knees. My right hand's gonna go to the side. And I'm gonna make a big semicircle all the way around, overhead, trying to keep my fingertips on the floor. Don't worry if you can't keep your fingertips down. Rotate all the way around until your hands in line with your shoulder. And the aim is to get them shoulders both on the ground, hands straight out to the side, and just relax. And then you can rotate back, overhead. And then I will repeat that again 3 times on one side, roll over to the other side, knees nice and tucked in, and then rotate round the other way. If you're struggling to get that full rotation without the hand coming off the floor, what you can do is put your hand in between your knees just to give you that little bit of room to rotate that little bit further. Then once you feel comfortable enough, close them knees together just to increase that mobility. With a lot of these exercises, the unilateral or the single side exercises, you'll probably find that one side's going to be tighter than the other. For me, my left side's a lot tighter than my right. My left hip, rotating to my left side, doing that thoracic rotation is a little bit harder. Imbalances are what a lot of the time causes a lot of pain, a lot of joint issues. So if you have imbalances, try and fix them. Maybe do an extra set of something on your weaker side or the tighter side, and that might help your imbalances and help improve your back pain, knee pain, hip pain, whatever issues you have. So there we go, there's my 5 stretches to bulletproof your body. Get these into your routine daily if you can, if not every other day. I would say a minimum of 4 times a week. It just takes 10-15 minutes extra in the morning, in the evening, post-workout, wherever it is, to benefit you, reduce your joint pain, increase your mobility, and get you feeling good. I've implemented this for about 2 years now as part of my daily morning routine, and it has massively benefited me, not just in terms of joint pain, but in terms of my mobility when it comes to my exercise. I've suffered from chronic knee pain for a long time now. It's the best that I've ever felt, so hopefully this can help you out as well. In terms of reps, sets, and how long I would hold this stretch, in the morning, I've been doing 3 sets of each exercise, maybe an extra set if one of my sides is a little bit stiffer. Hold them for about 20-30 seconds. I'm not really counting it, I'm just going off feel until I get to the point where I feel things are loosening. The first set might be a little bit uncomfortable. By the 3rd set, it should ease off a little bit. And by doing this for a couple of weeks, a couple of months, a couple of years, you'll find things get a little bit easier. You'll be able to get into positions that you didn't previously. And yeah, you'll feel great for it, trust me. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I had a few people request it, so hopefully I help you out. If you do want to see any more mobility videos, I have recorded a previous full daily mobility routine about a 1.5 years ago. I'll link it up here. If this video gets 25 likes, I will get a full mobility routine video out for you, my new updated routine, which I do every single morning. It'll be about 20-30 minutes. And yeah, if you want to see that, give this video a like, and yeah, I'll get it done for you. But thank you very much for watching. Hopefully this video helps. Like, subscribe, comment, all that usual stuff. All my links to everything is down below. Coaching, Instagram, all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the next video.